Welcome to another episode of the Be Great series here on the Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I am Nicky C, all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we have Dr. Carolyn Green from where?
Houston, Texas.
Yes, and we are here with another amazing episode for you today. And we are going to be talking about the power of networking and relationships. But before we get into that topic, we're going to ask Carolyn to just share what's on her mind right now. What is she excited about? And just any updates that she wants to share at this time.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I am still on a high from the Woman Warrior Blom Global Conference. So I'm so excited. But even being in that room kind of led up to the conversation that we are getting ready to have today. I have come so far in this area of networking and building relationships because a lot of us as solopreneurs kind of get out there on our own and we just stay in our bubble, stay laser focused, and not realize how important it is to grow as a collaboration because the grinding time in day night is not what is going to get you to the next level because you can never get there alone. So I'm excited about that, along with some amazing opportunities through collaborations that I have been presented with over the years. So this is a topic that whew, gets me all worked up and excited.
Yes, me too. And I totally feel exactly what you're saying. I didn't know what networking is, what this space of entrepreneurs look like, and what opportunities can actually be placed in your path that you didn't even know existed, that you didn't even know you can do. So many things you find out about yourself through this journey. It has been absolutely amazing to even create or even to share as a testimony. And let's just talk about our testimony, how I went to, you went from Texas to Florida. I went from Philly to Florida at the Mike Story last February. And actually the February before. And it was just like, oh, what? Like this, oh my God, like just listening to your voice, seeing what you were doing, which led to not just us connecting on a different level, but also bringing you in as an MC for the Warrior Women Bomb Global Conference for
Yes,
2 years
yes.
in a row. You being part of the the lead sponsor for building a leadership mindset, and not only part of Ladies of Leadership, me joining your DigiBoss, getting in your entrepreneurial space, and just being able to connect others with each other. It's just been amazing. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to go with, I'll start off first this week, this month actually. And get right into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I hope that those that are listening and watching this right now, get your papers and pens ready because this is going to shift it. It's going to shift. It's your Be Great series here, bringing you the power of networking and relationship. And I want to just talk about one major strategy about how to show up with intention, not just with the business part. When we
Ooh,
go into these events, sometimes we get our business cards, we get our flyers, but there's so many different levels that you can enter into the room. One being an attendee, another being a vendor, another can be a sponsorship, another could be a keynote speaker, a VIP speaker. But every single level has a particular intent. There is a result that you want because when you're investing your dollars, let's just keep it real. You're investing your dollars, your time, your mindset, your emotions, because there's other external factors as well. So I don't just want you to attend events to hand out flyers, or it's to connect. It's really in the connection. So I want you to ask yourself really quick, who do I want to build with? If you are building anything in your business, one, you can't do it alone, right? And these events, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, whether it's one-on-one connection, coaching calls, any room that you step in to that has the opportunity for you to network with others, you have to start taking note of who do you want to build with? What roles in your organization do you need to fill those in? So when you're entering this room, you're basically scouting, you're basically recruiting in the best possible sense where you are not selling yourself, you're just sharing a vision and talking about it, but you're going in with intention. So, what rooms do you need to be in that match your energy and your mission? You also have to take that into consideration because if you are in a community that does not match your energy, it's going to be hard to really thrive. But there's ways to navigate that too, right? So, you just want to be clear on what you're offering and what you are looking for. So, a real quick tip is you're not networking to collect people, you're networking to build a tribe that's going to sustain not just your lifestyle, your business, but also your personal development. So that's my strategy. We have to go with intent, with a clear mission on what are the results we want to receive from from investing the time and the money. What are your thoughts, Dr. Carolyn?
I absolutely love that. You have people that go into the room and they are so laser focused on just collecting business cards and getting people to get around them that they forget to make that connection. They forget to realize that they're there to build a relationship. They're there to lock arms with somebody so that they can be great together, right? But a lot of times we totally forget about the reason why we're in these rooms and why we're networking, because we've been programmed and trained that you go in the room, you get your client, you go in the room, you meet your, we don't even sometimes look for collaborations. We're so focused on just getting our next client when we go into the room. So that is something you definitely kicked it out. And every month, I am so wow that we don't share talking points and we do not share what we're thinking about or how we what we're going to present. But it always set each other up for the next thing that we talk about. So I'm going to start off by telling people that I want to resonate with that woman who actually liked people and loved being around people, but you felt excluded in certain circles. You felt like you didn't belong or you weren't a part of it. You know, that click culture. You know, I've been in situations where I'm like, yay, I'm excited to go into this room to meet some new people, but I felt shut out. I felt like, okay, the circle was closed. And it made me want to just sit out with this whole networking thing. And for so many years, I would not go to networking events because I'm like, I'm not trying to fit in the clique. I am not trying to work with people. And I had to shift my mindset from the clique culture to the collaboration culture. I had to start telling myself, if the door is closed, don't try to push it open, but be there and connect with who aligns to what I align with. So I had to shift my mindset to be truthful, from trying to fit in to showing up and collaborating. And everything changed from that. A lot of times we have this people pleasing thing, and this is the reason why we can't walk into those rooms. And I think before we even get to the room, we have to shift our mind and start talking to ourselves and saying, hey, I want to meet new people. I want to show up as my authentic self so that I can attract the right people who aligns to my mission and align to the things that I love doing and I love supporting. And every room is not like that. And so, like Nikki said, when you walk in, I know you guys can feel the vibes. You know, when you look around, you're like, this not going to resonate with me. This is just not my type of party. And then we have to understand that some relationships that we form only is for that environment, but sometimes we try to take those relationships and turn them into friendships, and they're really just collaborationships. And so when we're looking in that room, you have to say, okay, let me show up for who I am. Let me be ready to connect. Let me still pour in who I am, even if there is a chance of people pushing me away. At least I showed up as my authentic self. And so I used to try to just go in and just be my woo, hey, how you doing? And everybody wasn't ready for that. So I had to sit back and observe the room and figure out, okay, how is this room flowing? Let me see. Are these people like sticking in certain groups? Or is there somebody floating around by themselves that I can connect with and talk to? And I started to just scope the room first before I actually dived in and started asking for business cards, before I started asking about like, hey, what do you do? And who are you connected with? What is your mission? What is your purpose? I had to get my introduction together and learn how to warm people up to who I was so that they can open up and share who they were. So I had to stop looking at it as a group of women at the table and they're trying to invite me to the table, right? Because a lot of times we're like, "Ooh, I just want to be invited. I just want to fit in. I just want to go in there and be into the circle." But what I started going in with the mindset of is that I already have my table right here, and I am bringing it into another room, and I am going to invite the people that are in the room to come and sit with me at my table so that we can connect and collaborate. So I stopped looking to be invited and I start building my own and walking into the room with the confidence that whoever wants to come sit with me can come and sit with me. Hi, my name is Carolyn. What's your name? And if you feel those vibes, oh, why don't you come over here and sit with me? Why don't you come and be a part of that? So I wanted to kind of break that thought that you are not invited into the room, or nobody there is going to like you. No one there is going to want to connect with you. You have to change that mindset before you go in, before you even start looking for networking groups or accepting invitations. Because if you walk in with that energy, and if you walk in already feeling defeated, if you walk in already feeling like you weren't a part of it, then it is going to put a negative taste in your mouth, and you're not going to want to continue to go to networking events. So I've come out of that, and I am so excited that I now look for opportunities to get into the room with other women. I now understand that it's okay if they have their circle of quick because or click, because there's going to be people around that are going to still want to connect and collaborate with me. So I did want to start off with that so that when you get to the room, you understand that, hey, I'm looking for connection partners. I'm looking for opportunities, not just to collect information or feel like I have to be BFFs with everybody that is inside of that room.
That is such a great point. What a great mindset to really set yourself up for success, right? That is that be great mindset where
Mhm.
you lay out your expectations, not just for yourself, but for the results, right? And when you go in already feeling defeated, guess what? Just maybe not go at all. But I would have to also say that's probably the best way, because you are going to learn very quickly that you created this thought, this mindset in your mind that never ever existed.
Yeah.
Because you will find out really quick that you were made to be in that room, that
Mhm.
you were supposed to be in that room, whether you were invited or not, or you invited yourself. There was something that pulled you to that room,
Yeah.
that is going to set you up for something, whether it's going to be a kickstart, whether it's going to be the catalyst. But there's something always in every room I have found, that whether I was speaking, whether I was attending, is that I was going to remove every experience prior, and I was going to go in with a new mindset, with a new heart, with a new intent. And that was just to continue to build relationships. So that I love that tip. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. This is, again, another strategy is you want to lead with value before the pitch.
Woo.
I know we have a deck of products, services, and everything that the world needs, because I truly believe that whatever we create, someone needs it. Maybe everybody does, maybe everybody doesn't, but someone, even if it's one that's going to lead you to the next and the next and the next. But we can't go in with that pitch. The strongest relationships are built on service. When
Mhm.
you give a little, and let me tell you that Dr. Carolyn Bobb-Green is a queen in that, with her with her community, where she is up at 5 a.m. just giving tons and tons of value while people are still probably in their ninth dream. But let me
Not
tell
the
you,
nice dream.
yes. But let me tell you, people are up that early because they value her information. They know that whatever comes out of her mouth is going to take them to the next level. Maybe one gem, maybe all the gems. And that's how you lead with value, setting up your business and your organization in a way that can give them a peek into who you are and how you serve. Is really how you build strong relationships. That's how I was able, like our first call, we're not talking about pricing. We're not talking about payment links. We are not talking about how to join. We are talking about who are you? What is in your heart? Are our visions aligned? Is there a service that I have that can help you, and vice versa? How can it be a give and take? That's really where the relationship lies. But in these rooms, you want to listen first and serve second, and then you want to pitch last. People remember how you made them feel, not just what you offer them. It's a journey. It's a 1, 2, 3 step. It's not just going in for the kill, and sometimes there you have that A-type personality. That girl, you ain't got to say another word. Just send me the link. I'm in, and that's good too, right? But build that relationship. Go in with that intent to really get to know their heart, because through a journey, if you're in that impulse, spontaneous, I'm gonna, lock in this transaction, and then you didn't have time to really see and get to know the person, which in any case, either case, sometimes things will just be revealed when it's supposed to be revealed. So you're never going to know, but you have to be discerning very early on. So what I want to leave you with on that note is really your let me help you statement, right? Let me help you. When you see a challenge, a hurdle, a mountain, somebody talking about something, and you can give them just a gem right at the spot, trust me, it's going to take you a long way. And I'm going to share my story in a minute, but you will always open more doors than let me sell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And this was a perfect example. I started my journey May 14, 2022, getting in my first networking room, and not as just an attendee, but as a speaker in a competition, talking about validation and all these things. And what that investment did for me in that room was everything you've seen in the last 3 years. Just with that one yes, with that one obedience, with that one, I did it scared, I did it tired, I did it, but I still did it. And that's the point. And what that led me is to start building those relationships, getting into more rooms, having more one-on-one coffee talks, getting to know people. And one specific one that really sparks this strategy is that I helped someone on Zoom one day just kind of switch something out. And that was like the world to them, because they were not technically savvy. They did not know about Zoom. They were new to it. And I just really just said, hey, just do this. And I kind of guided them. And that led to a conversation where I was nowhere around, that someone was looking for a person to do a hybrid event and moderate the Zoom. And because I had helped her, she was like, oh, well, I know a perfect person. Mind you, I've never had done it before. I mean, I knew how to do Zoom because I've been on Zoom calls, but I never moderated an event. Absolutely not. I knew what it took, and I knew I could learn it. But because of that one let me help you moment, led me to hosting my first hybrid event on a virtual Zoom, helping Austin J. Haynes with Flashpoint in Philadelphia, which, because I entered that room, because I spent a whole weekend with moderating that Zoom, I was given 5 minutes, an opportunity that would have never happened if I didn't say yes, or if I thought that I was incapable of providing the service. But meeting those people, 5 minutes of talking about ladies of leadership led to most of our founding members coming out of that room 1 month later. Like, we are walking testimonies. And I know that the listeners here right now have felt that, have experienced that, but they forget that that is their superpower. They need to go back into their memory bank and pull those moments where you've influenced someone, where you move someone, and continue to build those relationships. All we're here to do is share the gift that God gave us. Whether
Yeah.
someone is attracted to that and wants to know more, that's when the transaction, that's when the sales call comes in. That's when the pitch comes in. Let your authentic being be the magnet to those things. But you only do that when you're in the rooms, whether virtual or in person. Whew, that's that. So lead with value before your pitch.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. How many times have we been pitched to, and it makes you feel so uncomfortable, and it's like I don't even know you.
Yes, yes.
You want me to do what? Like, come on, like let's warm it up a little bit. But no, people go right in for the kill because they've been trained that way. Like,
Yeah.
yes, just ask. And it's like, yes, it's a time and a place to ask. Like we grew up and our parents told us, like, you don't just be in the grocery store just begging out loud, I want some candy, I want this. It's like, no, when we get in this store, don't ask for nothing. You wait. And then your parent is right there, about to check out, and you're like, "Can I have a piece of candy?" And they're like, "Okay, go ahead and get it since you were good for
Mhm.
that particular time." But I mean, networking is the same way. We gotta warm it up. We can't be just going in there like, "Gimme, gimme, 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 gimme," going on. So,
Yes.
I'm so happy that you talked about that, just that value part and, add value first and then pitch what you need later, because we have to understand that collaborations are the new currency. I remember when I first heard that and I was like, "Hmm, yes, collaborations are the new currency. It's the new money." In today's world, the network is your net worth. Like who's in your network tells like a lot. And I used to get this all the time. Like I didn't see myself as a big networker, but when someone would ask me, "Hey, do you know somebody?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got a person. Oh yeah, 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 I got a person." They're like, "Oh my God, you just know." I was like, "I don't know everybody, but I keep my network of people so that I can refer people out, and you become an amazing source of wealth to people when your network is strong. When you can say, "Hey, I know somebody who can do that. Oh, I know somebody in Philly. Oh, I know somebody in Florida that can help you. I know somebody in this area." And so partnerships, referrals, and collaborations open doors that not even cold emails or marketing alone can do. And so when I make a referral and I say, "Hey, you know what? Nikki does this," a person is going to be like, "Well, yes, I know Carolyn, so I know she's going to tell me the next best person." And so when you're referred by reliable, good people, and when you're connected to them, then doors just fly open for you, and you find yourself really not really having to market and cold email and just talk to random people, because your net worth will keep you busy and keep you going. Instead of asking who's in the room, you should be asking, who can I build with? Who in this room can I really take things to the next level with? How can I be of service to them first? And sometimes it's in the serving that you get those opportunities. A lot of times I'll just be minding my own business, just there, ready to help and ready to do what I need to do, and then an opportunity pops up. There are people, you talk about the 5 a.m. I've shared on my personal page, and I also go live in my community. But every once in a while, I'm like, man, I need to share this with, my friends and family that are not inside of my community or inside of my business page. And they'll share it on their page. And it's been several times that I've gotten inboxes and messages of, "Hey, can you come and speak at my event and share what you shared on your Plantational Sunday?" And I'm sitting here like, which Plantational Sunday are you talking about? And so I have to go back and find exactly what I was talking about and what I was saying. But it is in that sharing and that collaboration of showing up for other people and serving them, that you get opportunities. Collaborations for me have led to new clients, new opportunities, and brand visibility. A lot of times we just want to stay in our own spot, and we don't want to get out there and work with other people. And it's like, it's really interesting, and I know we have the thing, but I want to build it, this is mine. But you have to understand that that collaboration and that connection can get you into rooms that you may not even know about. There are things that I'm like, I've never heard of that before, because in a collaboration, someone has mentioned it to me and said, okay, well, let me introduce you to this. Just recent, like, I've grown up in Houston. I've been here my whole entire life. And there is an exclusive club that is in Houston for business owners, where it's like a private networking. They have training rooms that you can use, all the things. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to get out tonight. I'm going to go network with some ladies that I had met online. And one of the ladies who's over it, she's like, oh my God, I love your plantational Sundays. I tapped into your community. And as soon as I walked in, she was like, oh my God, I'm happy you showed up. I wanted to show you this. And it's this amazing training room. She's like, you can do your next event here. And I'm like, do you even know me? And she's like, but I watch what you do. I see the events that you go to. And she's like, I'm so happy that you showed up, because I couldn't wait to show you this opportunity. And sometimes our presence is in rooms and with people before we even show up. And so that is why it's so important that we get out of our comfort zone. We get out of just focusing on what we're doing and start expanding our branches and getting into these rooms so that we can build community, not just get customers, but build community and watch how that grows your business alone. So I want to tell you three reasons why I say that connections is currency. And I want you guys to remember this. So connections is currency through collaboration. Number one, we talked about that. This is your opportunity to share your platform, your products, and your experiences. Guys, collaboration. It is also currency through co-signing. I see people doing this all the time, and that's public support, as Desiree called it, giving me your flowers, your referrals, and your testimonies. And people will co-sign for you and talk about you before you even get there. And that is currency or money alone, because that sets you up to make that customer, to get that customer, and to make that the money that you are looking to make. And then cross pollination is so important, which is mixing audience, which is what me and Nikki has done. I have brought Nikki into my family, and Nikki has brought me into her family, and we do somewhat of the same thing, but not the same thing. And so this allows us to piggyback on each other's skills, and use each other resources so that we both can grow faster. And even if it's one person at a time, one person going here, one person coming over here, this is a type of currency. So through collaboration, co-signing, and cross-pollination, this allows us to be able to build connections, which eventually turns into what? Cash flow. The old way is out. There is no more competing to climb. You're finding that more and more women and business owners are wanting to connect and collaborate. And understand that your next opportunity could come through you showing up at someone's event, even commenting online, even inviting them to have a coffee chat just to get to know them. And so we have to understand that we have to first provide the value, show up, encourage, and love on other people, and watch how that connection can turn into some form of currency. So I get excited about that. Why? Because I love to serve, and a lot of times I think like, okay, you're serving for no reason at all, and then I look up and I'm like, my serving has turned into a collaboration that has now referred me to more people and opened up more doors for me. So understand the power of collaboration and the power of networking, because sooner or later you're going to look around and your circle is going to be so broad and so strong and so big, and it's just going to lift you up to the levels that you could have never reached on your own.
So powerful. I was on mute. So powerful, so amazing, so many things I can pull from that. I'm gonna start um, from the beginning where
Mm.
you talked about. Oh my goodness, I had it and I was about to say it and then I went on mute. But let's get this right because you had so much um, about. Oh my goodness, collaboration is currency, about resources, being the that person that is resourceful for your community, for your business besties, for um, anyone, your family, and anything where. And me and my executive manager. We're just talking about this because of her being part of our community and the connections that she has. She was able to make a connection with someone that in her family that she knew. And that's what it's about. It is about, like, in Ladies of Leadership, we have a to-do list where we ask all our members to create an expertise worksheet to list everything that they do. What are their talking topics? What are the programs and courses that they offer, right? So we study that so that when I go into networking, I know that when someone says something, it immediately rings a bell. Oh, I know that Carolyn does this. There's so many times that if you're going to talk about automation and cash flow on replay, guess who's getting that message, that connection saying, hey, you need to jump on the next DigiBoss or whatever services that Carolyn has, along with all of our, you need an LLC, Christina Roman's your girl. Like, I can know that because we intentionally have put that part of our organization so that we can help our women collaborate with other women and that their network continues to grow. Then I have to go about talking about being in this room and the oh my God, I don't know how to word it, but the anticipation or the expectation when you walk into a room and someone tells you, oh my goodness, I've been watching you. I am so glad to finally meet you, to be in your presence. Like, that happens. That has happened if you're consistent and you have your systems in order and you're showing up exactly the way you're supposed to. People are watching you in silence, period. They just are. Some people are just afraid, intimidated, and those are all valid points, right? Nothing that you have to concern yourself about, but they will come to light. They will show up when there's going to be that one live, that one reel, that one post from a networking event that's going to say, hey, we need to talk. And that's happened, like, literally just in the last week and a half, being hosting the Warrior Women Bomb Global Conference, bring in someone who has been watching, has been part of the community in one way, shape, or form, that said, you know what, I'm ready now. I see you. Let's have a conversation. I'm ready now. So it happens. And then just this weekend, I'm part of the Born to Risk with Amelia Roman and Daniela Roman. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the yacht party or the mastermind on Saturday because, I had some other things already on the schedule. But when I come back and my ladies that were in the room, they were like, Nicky, you should know your name was mentioned all weekend long. And I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't even there, but I appreciate it. This is the aftermath of when you really take your networking seriously and really looking to build these relationships. But you said so much stuff, and I love your 3 collaborations, co-signing, let them co-sign, and cross-pollination. Yes, we do. We support each other because there's enough for everyone. When you go in with that mindset of building those opportunities where everyone wins, you become unstoppable. Your network becomes unstoppable. Not just you, but the community, the people that are following you, that are buying your programs, they're going to feed off of that energy that you put out there. So strategy number 3 is that when you are getting into these spaces and you're building these relationships, you have to follow up like a boss. We cannot not follow up, because remember, the moment is amazing. The emotions are flowing. And I just had a conversation this morning with one of our members. We were talking about some different ideas. And it says 80% of success in networking happens after the first meeting, right? 80% of success happens in the first meeting because you're hyped, you're pumped, you're ready to go. But what happens a week later? That percentage starts to decline. Yep. Those people are seeing other Facebook posts. They're seeing other opportunities. They're seeing other things. You have to have systems in place that you can connect with these individuals that you're connecting with. DMs, emails, voice notes, or even personalized videos. I have received some personalized videos where I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this, right? I'm a voice note person. I'm always like on the run, just in the middle of everything. Hey, sending you love and light your way. This is what I want you to know. And then I say what I have to say, and I really love to connect with you, or let's schedule a time. But personalized videos are an extra level of a personal touch where you're like really like, hey, you know what, I had an amazing time with you, it was so awesome. Like your gestures is, they're going to feel it, which they might not feel through a text, right? The text, even though it might sound salesy, it can be a turnoff, it just can. So try to go with voice notes or personal videos. That's my follow up like a boss method. And you follow up within 24 to 48 hours. Like whenever you attend an event, you have to intentionally set some time apart right after so that that is out of the way. They know who you are. They know you're interested in getting to know them and getting to know who they are, what they do, and what magic you can make together. So you want to stay on top of mind and not just in a feed, because those feeds, you're like right up here. How many times, and you can comment in the chat, like how many times do you go into your feed and you see a post that was posted 5 days later and you're like, well, why didn't I see that? One, you weren't active as much on your page and you're not being interactive with other pages as well that that can move your business forward. So stay top of mind and not just in a feed. And the fortune is in the follow through, not just the follow up. You have to keep following through. It is okay. And sometimes we think, oh my God, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to, act like I'm coming out too spammy or too needy. No, you need to say, hey, we had a conversation, because obviously the conversation for your follow-up, you're going to know who needs to follow up priority all the way down the list to the people that you're connecting with. But even just to create a relationship, because remember, no is not no forever.
And
no, and you say it all the time, Dr. Carolyn. You said it in some of our past recordings where no is probably just not right now. Let me continue watching you. Some people need to see you in action, and that when the world goes chaotic, that you're not that person that's just going to give up, right? Because we want to follow people that are going to follow through, period. And there's going to be times in our lives where things kind of go here and there, but you have to stay consistent. And that follow up, that's where the currency is as well.
Yeah,
it definitely is there, because you want to build first and then follow up. Dr. Carolyn, talk to me.
Absolutely. I mean, because that sets up to the long game. I mean, if you do not connect with people, I have been in some rooms where the fire is like, oh my God, we're in the right place. We exchange phone numbers. The first couple of weeks, we're like, hey, what's going on? Let's have lunch. And then we get back to our real life and it just starts to fizzle on out. And so we have to be so intentional about like just going to our phone and setting space aside. I talk about this in my Plantational Sunday. You have to be intentional about your hours. And at least twice a week, I set aside time to follow up with connections, especially people that I've met in the room. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to stay in touch with you. I want to, build a relationship with you. And if you just take that business card and just push it to the side, or you have this powerful conversation and then you just let it dwindle on, and you don't bother to text them, you don't bother to say hi to them, but you only get in their inbox when you're selling something, that is how those relationships start to like kind of fizzle away because it's not genuine. So I want to talk about relationship ROI. Like you have to invest up front sometime and then you'll get the return in the investment. It's about the long game of being loyal. And so a lot of times we just want these firecracker relationships. You just light it and it just pop off. And sometimes it's not like that. Understand that the people that you build with today will refer you, they will support you, and they will co-create with you tomorrow. And so you just never know who that connection is. And if you're so tunnel vision that you're just trying to sell them and you don't have that wide scope and understand that you're building a long game or you're building a long-term relationship, then you're going to leave a lot of opportunities on the table. The return on strong relationships doesn't always show up immediately, but it always pays off. And so I can talk about a ton of relationships, even with Nikki. When I first met her, I didn't know. You're like, hey, how are you? And didn't understand where it was going to go. But as we got to know each other and stayed connected with each other, I'm like, oh, wow, you have this podcast. Oh, wow, why don't you have any lady sponsors on the podcast? I want to be the first all in. I want my name to be at the front. And so, and she's like, oh, okay. But I had to watch her. I had to listen in on her podcast. I had to actually see who her lineup was, how she ran her meetings before it paid off into a strong relationship. So that return on investment, sometimes we don't know, and it pays off later. Even a new recent collaboration that I have with a new program that I'm working. I've always been, about the back end of your business, your funnels, your cash on replay, having all your digital assets and your technology together. And even though I am a speaker, I never thought about coaching speakers or working with speakers. And so I aligned with someone who had that piece of the puzzle that matched what I have. And we kind of dated for a while before we came out with something together. And so sometimes you don't know why you're in that relationship. You just keep showing up and supporting that person, keeps showing up and supporting you. And you never know when you're going to be sitting at the table and you say, hey, it's time that we collaborate. It's time that we create something amazing. We have to understand that relationships aren't just transactional, they're transformation. And a lot of time that we just look for just the money right off the bat, or just the oh, I want to get on that person's platform. I'm very, very choosy about that. You can't just come on my platform. I don't know what you're going to say. So it's not transactional. It has to be transformation. And I have to watch you. I have to see how you perform before I even refer you to somebody else. And so understand that this is a long game when we start talking about connection and networking and meeting people. And you have to watch and you have to observe just like they're doing to you so that you can have these long-term relationships. As I was building my network, I wrote this down. Actually, I was in a faith-based conference, and it started talking about your three people that you're connected to show you who you really are. So list down the three people and what they do, and you'll see like, is my net worth high or is my net worth low based on my network that I have? And what they taught me is that you need three type of people in your network. And I always look at my life and I ask myself, do I have this? The mentor, someone who can give you wisdom and strategy, whether you are getting it for free from someone who is close to you that loves to lead you voluntarily, or you're paying for it. And everybody says you're a coach and you have a coach. Every coach needs a coach. Everybody needs someone who is going to give them understanding of their wisdom, because some of us have the wisdom, we have the know, but we don't have the understanding and strategy of how to apply it. And sometimes we need that person in our life to be able to help us. So ask yourself in your network, and as you're networking, have you found your mentor? Have you found your coach that is going to be able to pour into you and help you to be able to bring those dreams into a reality? Then you have to have that mirror, that accountability partner, that person who is going to tell you the truth. And a lot of times we get our mentor and our accountability partner mixed up. We try to make our coach our accountability partner and our mirror. And sometimes that's not your mirror, because you lying to them in the first place. You're only telling them a little bit of the story so that they can help you get to where you need to be. But do you have somebody in your life that is a mirror that says, girl, you need to be up doing this. You need to. And in your network of people that you have, who's your a mirror? Who's your accountability? Who's going to tell you the truth and not just be your hype person and be like, girl, you got this. You looking good and you looking raggedy and toe up. And so you have to have that person in your life to be able to do that. This person is not this next one, which is your microphone. This is not the person that always is the one who amps your voice and lifts you up and like, woo, woo. They don't know that you struggle with things. This is the person that is your cheerleader from the side. That's like, man, every time she show up dig. They don't know that sometimes you need support with a coach. They don't know sometimes that you need a mirror sometimes to get on you. And when you look at your network of people, you have to have people in those roles around you in order for you to expand and grow. Whether it is a group of mentors, whether it's a group of mirrors, whether it's a group of microphones, in your network, if you do not have that, then you are not building the long game of relationship. So the return of a strong relationship may not show up right away, but it is compounded. It will continue to grow. So I want you guys to circle back with other collaborations that you've had in the past, mentors and prospects that you've had, and look at it and see how you can position the people around you in your network so that you can continue to grow. Um, Collaboration is not just about you being in the spotlight, because when you're not completing for the spotlight, it multiplies. And so when you're not trying to be a mentor to yourself, the mirror to yourself, and the microphone to yourself, and you put people in those roles, then the spotlight grows. It gets bigger and bigger because you're able to spotlight those people as well as what you do. And I always say you're just one aligned relationship, one conversation away from your next breakthrough. And if you do not have those hard conversations, if you do not sit with people and talk about their place in your network, then you're missing out on a ton of opportunity. So I want you to ask yourself, who's your mentor? Who's your mirror? Who's your microphone in your network? And are you in it to build that loyalty long game? Are you pouring into each one of those people with what you have so that relationship can bring you a return on the investment of time, energy, space that you have put into it?
Mm, so beautifully said. I was just in awe. Like I even took notes, right? Because the coach is also a learner at all times. And when you hear something from different perspectives, you're like, oh, wait, that's a writer downer, right? So the three types of people in your life. And I wrote it down and I'm like, oh, I have all of these. Again, because we took the time to position them so we can position ourselves, which again, we are able to give more, add value more, because now we have the time where we're not going back on our word to say, you know what, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to wait next week and nothing gets done. Truly, that was my story in the last couple months. I said, I'm going to get my recordings done for our This Is Me masterclass. I had just did all of the back end stuff, like, putting in the what's that called? Oh my goodness. The cover photo, I jotted all the stuff down, what they're going to get, my scripts. I added the attachments. The only thing was missing was recording. And I have my chief art officer in my community that told me, Nikki, you're going to get off the phone with me right now. You're going to go on focus mode and you're going to record your recordings. Then I had Judith again on the other end, which is one of my partners as well, with our Youth Rising program, that said, nope, Nikki, get it done. Record your first podcast, your first TV show for the Prospero TV network for She Leads Loud. That just aired a couple days ago. So again, having those people matter. They're a crucial part of your journey, your growth, and your be great moments. Because if you didn't have that in place, how long is it really going to take you to get something done? And you know what? It may just never get done, because we are so easy to give up on some of those things that we think it doesn't matter. But you know what? How much feedback I got after that first episode that I'm like, shoot, I should have put this episode out months ago. That's what you start to realize, that when you actually do take action and you get that feedback, you're like, oh my God, what have I been waiting for all this time? Right? So definitely those three major roles in your sphere for your ROI. Remember, it doesn't always come back in currency. It comes back in impact, which is what we all go into coaching for. We're here to change lives. We're here to give the roadmap to transformation, because we all need a change in some way, shape, or form in our lives. So amazing, amazing tip. So thank you so much, Dr. Carolyn. We're going to go into strategy number 4 that I'm going to give you, and that's really leveraging your social media as your networking events, right? Not just the ones you host, the ones you attend, the ones that you are, the ones that moved you. There's so much that a photo can do. We've been doing it all week long for a week and a half since the Warrior Women Bomb Global, really leveraging social media to make more connections, because this is a movement. We have to use our resources. Your online presence is your open invitation for others to take a seat at your table, to join the movement where you can impact, grow together, and move forward, because that's what we want to do. We want our communities and our networks to grow. So when I'm at an event, whether, again, I'm hosting or not, you see me, like someone just called me. First, I was the document queen. Now I'm the selfie queen. And I know Dr. Carolyn was like, oh my God, I already changed. And you tried to take a picture, but she was busy all day. She was doing her thing, making this event just that extra special. So I was like, well, I got to get it now. I need to make sure I'm capturing every moment with the women that have touched my life in one way or another, because that is your social proof that you are in the game for the long haul. Okay. You want to post with purpose. It's not just say, hey, what did that picture make you feel? What did capturing that moment do for your mindset? You need to share that, because people really want to know, what are your thoughts as a leader, as a business owner? What are the things that you're attracted to when you're going to these events, and what you want to comment with intent, and you want to DM with boldness. If someone likes your page, DM them. Actually, create a new comment tagging their name. Thank you. So maybe they didn't have words to say, but how did they make you feel? Especially if they were one of the ones in the room, not that's just people outside. So when someone likes or loves your page that didn't attend the event, that's your moment to say, hey, I would have loved for you to have been there to share the moment, especially if it reminded you of something in that person. And it could be any reason why they didn't make it, they couldn't make it, travel. There's so many different factors, but you still have to leverage your social media. And we need to get out of this mindset that, oh, we're doing too much. Oh, we feel like, people are going to think that we're conceited. Like, no, when it comes to this business world, if no one knows what you're doing, guess what? Your business doesn't grow.
Right.
How do they know if you're not showing them the behind the scenes?
Yeah.
In there, like our setup right before going live at 9 a.m. in Canandaigua on a beautiful, there's so many things, like we didn't have our usual banner that day. That could have threw us off. We didn't have the right pose or whatever. But you know what? That room was set up to not have a banner. That room lifted up Christina. Thank you so much. Shout out to Christina Roman again. She was from DK Balloon Saloon. She was able, like her magic and what she does with her balloon decor was actually amplified because of the space that we've gotten. Why not capture that moment? Guess what? That's helping her with her business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what these moments capture. So you want to be seen, be known, and be remembered?
Yeah.
Share it to the world. And it's okay to do that. You should not be ashamed. You're working hard. You are working hard behind the scenes, late nights, 3 a.m. wake ups with downloads on what the next thing you're going to do. Again, people are watching, and I can just keep going on and on with that one. So we're going to pass it on to you, Dr. Carolyn.
No, but that is so true about, like networking with real value, not just being seen, but being heard, showing up to give and not just to get from it. Even on social media, I think sometimes we show up on social media to get information, to get what everybody else is doing, and not showing up to give on social media. And so I taking all of what Nikki said and bottle it in and talking about meaningful network, that is sharing value. She talked about the boss follow up, and then giving mutual support, actually getting into the DM and saying, hey, you know what? I love that you did this. And I would love to hear more about your business and what you do. And so there's just something about showing up intentionally and not just chasing that popularity, but building partnerships and building relationships that's going to go, go a long way with you. And so I want to encourage you, based on what Nikki said, is to connect with at least one person per week to grow and establish some type of connection. Use your LinkedIn, use your Instagram, use your Facebook groups with intention to actually form those relationships with people. Not just to pitch to them, but reach out and ask them, how can you support them? How can you be their number one fan? How can you encourage them? Because in that encouragement, they will see value in you and what you bring to the table. Um, I always tell people, yeah, you need eyeballs, but you don't need 100 new followers. What you need is 10 solid relationships to start off with, of people who are going to encourage you, support you, and be that microphone, be that cross pollinator, be that person who is going to refer you. And if you have 10 solid people, those 10 people will turn into 20, turn into 40, turn into 100. And they will not just be just any 100 people, but 100 mega fans. Like, I look for the people who are like, yes, Carolyn, pour into me, give me more, give me more, give me more. Not just people who are just sitting there just like, oh, okay, swipe. I don't even know who she is. I don't just want those. You get inboxes all the time. Let me pay for you some followers. And I always reply back, are they going to be people who are meaningful, who care about my message, or just sitting ducks on my page? I don't want to pay for those people. I want people who are attracted to me, not forced into my community, not forced onto my page. Why? Because I know that with the low number that I have their attention, and that is what I need. I don't need all of the millions, and I want them, but I want them to be meaningful connections, not just
Mhm.
people that are there. So I want you to understand that there is value in real networking and not just being visible, and not just having the numbers, or not just having so many friends, but you don't even know where they belong, and there's no return of investment, there's
Mhm.
no future with them, because you're just there showing up and not really pouring into them, and they're not pouring into you.
Yes, yes. Do you have any more strategies?
Oh, no, no more strategies, just like some reminders for you guys. If you want me to go ahead and drop those, and just a
Yeah.
challenge to really get connected this week.
Yep, absolutely. So I will just go with some of the summaries of really just don't build circles. Um, I'm sorry, don't build just contacts, build circles. You definitely want those circles. You want to cultivate relationships that grow over time. That means nurturing collaboration, checking in on wins and struggles, right? Because we need to be there too for that, not just when we can maximize on an opportunity, but also be there as that sister friend, as that business bestie to say, hey, I know life is rough right now, but let's continue to build this relationship. How can I serve? How can I help? And celebrating each other's milestones are huge. We do that all the time. Every time I get a whiff on what any of our ladies are doing and what they are creating, and that's a moment for me. Like, oh my God, look at this lady leader. She's absolutely just kicking it out the park. And we need to do more of that. We need to continue to support and show, our people, our business besties, our friends, our sisters, just really like, hey, we're here. And it's all about It's really all about that true, authentic relationship. I think I even started saying that till day one. Like we are, like when we get together and we connect, we're attached at the hip.
Yes.
That's it. You can't get away from me. After that, it's going to be really hard because I will be in your inbox. I will be in your text message, even if it's 2 days or every week or every 2 weeks. I'm in there like, hey, I haven't seen you. What's going on? What needs to happen? What do you need? Whatever. That's what this is about. This is how this works. And if you take all of these tips and scenarios and mindsets and really adopt one at a time, you
Yeah.
know, people's lifestyles are different. They're not used to this space. And trust me, it's a space to get used to,
It
right?
is.
Especially if you're like that introvert, if you're really not that social butterfly, or if you're that I like to stay behind the scenes. Let me tell you, staying behind the scenes is a desire, but it's not going to happen, especially when you get in this world, because you have a group of individuals that will challenge you to go to the next step. So, and that's what you're looking for, right? That's what you want. Who's going to uplift me? Who's going to motivate me today to say, you know what? I'm not staying in the bed. I'm going to get up and I'm going to be great. And I'm going to post this podcast and I'm going to enter this room and I'm going to lock in my spot for that. Like that, this is what all of this is about. So, this has been amazing. Dr. Carolyn, let's get your feedback and we'll talk about the next episode and we will let you go to implement everything you just learned today.
Well, I think your recap was freaking amazing. And understand, guys, that collaboration is going to multiply where competition divides. But I want to go in and give you guys three things that I want you to do as a part of a challenge this week, because I don't want you to just listen to this podcast and not take action. I want you to comment on somebody's post with real value. Like give point into them, whether they commented something that's aligned to what you do or one of your businesses that you have, but offer some real value. I want you to reconnect with someone who you admire and offer support to them. A lot of times we want to get on people's platform and stage, but we don't want to make a real connection with them. You show up with service first and then show them what you're able to do, and then they will elevate you and put you where you need to be. And then I want you to send a message to someone you want to collaborate with this year and let them know how you want that collaboration or where you want that collaboration to start. So not only offering value, but offering service and then offering an opportunity for someone to actually connect with you so that we can be the queens and kings of connection, the kings and queens of collaboration, the kings and queens of networking, because we know that that is how we are going to expand and grow and reach more people.
Absolutely. That is a mic drop. I love those challenges. Yes, we don't just want you to take this information and be excited, be motivated for however a length of time. We actually want you to take it into your day to day. This is why this was created, why this was built. This was an amazing episode. Again, we are coming back to you next month in September, right before going into quarter 4, which I can't believe the year is almost gone. Like, what happens? So we are going to talk about developing a growth mindset. And you've probably heard this for years. Some of the things are not going to be new to you. They're going to be reminders. Some of things may be like a new perspective that you're like, oh my God. So we're going to investigate the impact of mindset on success and how to cultivate a mentality, geared towards continuous learning. We have to be ready to grow. I know that we talk about like-minded individuals. I never put like on my content, it's never like-minded. It's always growth-minded because there's always room for growth. There you have it. Be Great series, August episode coming to you with some fire. This was absolutely awesome. Continue to comment, subscribe, share. Do not keep this to yourself. Someone needs to hear it, or plenty need to hear it. We absolutely love and adore what we do and bringing these topics and this content to you to be great. Let's just continue to do that and make it count.
It counts.
Bye, everyone. See you on the next episode.
Awesome.